Brody started a trend. Who's going to come down with him? Let's go. Oh, yeah. All right. Good, because we're going to have a little bit of a dance party this morning. We're gonna wake up our bodies. So make sure you have plenty of room. If you were here last year, you'll probably remember some of these songs. You'll probably remember some of these moves. We are going to start with an Old Faithful, a song that's probably at least twice as old as all of you. But that's all right. So can we get the tempo going a little bit? 1, 2, 3, and 4, and... All right, first things everybody's going to do is clap. Easiest thing. And teachers, if you have to go help them clap, you have my permission. All right, the words are, they go, Lord, I lift your name on high. Sing it, go. Lord, I lift your name on high. Do it again, and Lord, I lift your name on high. One more time. Lord, I lift your name on high. Now Lord, I love to sing your praises. Now you, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. Hey, look, those words. I'm so glad you came to. We're going to sing that again. Lord, I lift your name. Lord, I lift your name on high. Oh, don't stop clapping. Lord, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came to save us. All right, we're going to go to the chorus. And we're going to have some dance moves. We're going to learn the words first. So we're going to start from You Came From Heaven. Here we go. Ready? 3 and 4 and You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt to pay from the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. All right, are we ready for the dance moves? Oh, yeah. So, for the chorus, we're going to have some dance moves. I want to see everybody doing it. So, first one is You Came From Heaven. We're going to do this. So, everybody go and You came from heaven to earth. Then we're back down. Let me see that. Go and You came from heaven to earth to show the way. Nice. Now, you guys have 2 arms. I can only use 1. So, let me see everybody go show. Go. Nice. So, let's go from You Came From Heaven to earth. Here we go. Get those hands ready. And You came from heaven to earth to show the way. Now the next one goes from the earth to... Let me see it. Everybody go. From the earth to... Oh, everybody. This is your time to goof off in chapel. Come on. Take advantage of it. Ready? From the earth and go. From the earth to the cross. Nice. And then, my debt. You just kind of get rid of that money. My debt to pay. Everybody, let me see that. Go ahead. My debt to pay. Let's see how much you remember. We're going to go from the top. You came from heaven to earth. Here we go. Ready? And You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt to pay. Next, can you figure out what the next dance move is? From the cross. Good. Everybody, let me see from the cross. Go. Yeah, give a little cross. From the cross. And then we're going to do this thing. I have to take my hand off the microphone. Let me see to the grave. Get all the way into there. There we go. Let me see from the cross to the grave. Go. From the cross to the grave. One more time. Go. From the cross to the grave. And then from the grave to the... Let me see from the grave to the sky. Go. From the grave to the sky. All right. Are we ready to put it all together? From the top. Here we go. You came and You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt to pay. lift your name on high. And then we just have a little bit of a dance party. Yes, thank you, AFC President, for demonstrating how to have a dance party with oneself. Here we go from the beginning. Lord, I lift your name on high. And Lord, I lift your name. What should you be doing now? Lord, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came. Here's the chorus. You came from heaven. Ready? And you came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt to pay from the cross to the grave. From the grave to the sky, Lord, I lift your name on. I got clapping. All right, one more time from the top. Lord, I lift your name on high. If you have been too scared to sing along, get rid of that. Sing and clap with us. Have a good time. It's a lot more fun than not having a good time. Actually, you guys on the front, can you step and clap at the same time? Ready? Step. Oh, you boys in the middle, you came up here. You better start doing it. You can at least move your head and look like seaweed. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Lord, I lift your name on high. Here we go. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came. Here's the chorus. You came from heaven. Go. You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt to pay from the cross to the grave. From the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. Sing, Lord, I lift. Lord, I lift your name on high. Last time, make it a good one. Lord, I lift your name on. Everyone's up. High. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. You may sit down. For today, yes, Brody, there will be more, I promise. Okay, we're good. If you want to give me a nice flourish there, Mr. McCullough. Nice. Can you give them a round of applause? Thank you, Mr. Brower. Thank you, Mr. McCullough. All right, so it's really my privilege to welcome you guys to the first middle school chapel. For most of the year, you guys will have your chapels in the morning like this. We're going to have a good time. And every once in a while, you will have combined chapels with the high schoolers. But did anybody notice something that was a little different about combined chapels this year as opposed to combined chapels last year? Anybody notice? Yes, ma'am. Yes, Haley. Not yet, but I'm looking for something in terms of size. Are we bigger than we were last year? Yes. We are significantly bigger than we were last year. So that's going to be a bit of an endeavor, but we will be doing those throughout the year. So if you are going to be taking notes, 7th grade you are, and I see all of your notebooks already. Very nicely done. Here's how we start. This year, we did something a little bit different. Sometimes for chapels, we'll just see what the teachers are interested in saying, and they'll come up with topics for you that they have on their heart, which is fabulous and valuable. And we'll probably go back to that at some point. But this year, myself, many of the administrators, you guys know who administrators are, Mr. Pankey, Mrs. Pankey, Miss Kreitz in elementary, Mr. Farley, a lot of us had the same word in our head when we were thinking about what we wanted for this year. Mr. President, oh, is he not here? No, he left. He was in praise band. Weirdly enough, the high school boys also had that word in their head. And that word is, you can write this down in big old letters, unity. The word in question was unity. Now, can somebody raise their hand and tell me what they think unity means? Brody, go. I love come together as one. Does somebody have another definition that they would like to add to that? Or do you think that Brody basically nailed it? Good, because so do I. I think he basically nailed it. The actual definition, and you can write this down, the state of being joined or being unified. Do me a favor and underline unified. State of being joined or unified into a complete whole. The state of being joined or unified into a complete whole. I'll do questions later, Brody. Now notice, did it say a partial whole? This is where you guys get to participate. Did it say a partial whole? No, it did not. Did it say a whole, but it's got a little chunk bitten out of it because somebody got into the cake too early? No, it means complete. There is nothing else missing. Have you ever eaten food? No, none of you have eaten food. Have you ever eaten food and you're eating it and it's like, this is pretty good, Mom, but there's something missing. Now, I hope that you have never said that to your mother. My mother would have been like, okay, how about you cook dinner next? But have you ever eaten something, maybe a cookie or a cake that somebody made, and you're just like, it's just missing something? For me, when I started cooking first, I was about 12 when I started cooking. My parents let me use open flames when I was 12, but, I could handle it. And I started cooking things, and I noticed that things were not tasting the same as when my mom cooked. I was like, well, it's easy. You put it in the pan, you put a little oil. I knew that. I didn't burn anything. And you just wait till it gets crispy. What else is there? Anybody know what I missed? All of you said salt or, what's the other one, the fun one? Seasoning, pepper. I didn't have any of that. I didn't think, I needed to put a little bit of salt in there. I didn't do that yet. So I had to deal with very bland food for a while until I finally realized that's what's missing. The salt, the seasoning. Now, at home, I'm proud to say I have a whole drawer full of different seasonings for different occasions. But something was missing. That was not unified because it wasn't a complete whole. There was something not there. There was something not figuring out its way with the rest of them. But now let's look at the root word of unity. Does anybody know what the root word of unity is? I'll give you a hint. Take off the Y. What are you left with? Right there. Unit, correct. Now, write the word unit. And here's some big fun words that we're going to look at together. So, the definition for unit, an individual thing. Individual is spelled I-N-D-I-V-I-D-U-A-L. Individual, an individual thing or person that is regarded as single or complete. Bless you. An individual thing or person that is regarded as single or complete. But, and this is the most important word that we've said so far, but can also form an individual piece of a larger or more complex whole. And if you kind of tapered off there and you're like, wait, Ms. Kreitz, you went a little too fast, just put a complete whole. You'll be fine. But a unit is something that is okay by itself. It works by itself. It doesn't necessarily need to be involved in other things. It works just fine. But when it is mixed together with a bunch of other things, that have the same goals and the same mindsets, it's so much bigger. Let's look at, and I am not a sport person, so you may have your opinions on these people. You may disagree with whatever, and I'm not going to spit off a bunch of facts because I don't care. I love that you do, but I don't. But if you look at an athlete like LeBron James, plays basketball, right? No, I knew that. LeBron James, he's a fantastic athlete. But he can't win a basketball game all by himself. Now, if there's anybody who might be able to try or get close, he might be it. But him by himself, as a unit of LeBron James, he's pretty impressive. He works. Does he still know how to play basketball by himself? That's you guys get to talk. Does he still know how to play basketball when he's by himself? Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, he does. He knows the rules. He can pretend. Do you think he can still make three-pointers by himself? What about layups? Rebounds? Yeah, he can do all that by himself. But I don't want to watch just him. As you grow up, you start to realize the more fascinating thing about sports and stuff like that is watching how they play with each other, how they communicate. And in fact, how many of you are playing sports or want to play sports this year? One of the number one things, you may put your hands down, I love that many athletes in here. One of the most important things your coach is going to try to teach you is something called communication. You need to talk. In volleyball, I played volleyball, and we were the first people to play volleyball on Bethel campus in like forever. And guys, we were awful. Like, I wish that I was being nicer to myself. No. None of us had touched a volleyball before. And so in volleyball, that's a sport where you need to be moving all the time. Well, what we would get in the habit of doing was like, okay, I'm in my position and stay there. Well, what happens if the volleyball comes over here? You know what we would do? We would not reach out and get it. We'd go, huh. Oh, I thought you had it. We were not united. We were not unified. Now, I will say, by the time I graduated, 2 years later, we were winning games. We were all overhand serving. We were spiking. We were pretty darn good. But we had to be unified. Now, the best example I can think of units, individual pieces coming together and making a bigger difference when together. Ben, can you put that picture up for me? This is probably one of my favorite examples of what happens when you're united. Now, this is not just, oh, she's trying to be cool with the kids, pop culture reference. No. This is it right here for me. Every single person up there. We got Black Widow, we got Thor, we got Captain America, we got Hawkeye, we got Iron Man, and we got Hulk. Do they function by themselves? Can they do stuff by themselves? Yes, they can. In fact, most of them, poor Hawkeye, have their own movies. Oh, he has a TV show. That's okay. Where it's just them by themselves. And people still go watch it. So yeah, they can do things by themselves. Iron Man is my personal favorite. He kickstarted everything. He's my favorite. He does a lot of really good stuff by himself. Captain America, my second favorite. I agree with him more, but I like Tony Stark better. But Captain America does a lot of stuff by himself. Black Widow kind of literally does whatever she wants. She can kind of move in and out and do whatever needs to be done. But in the Avengers, how many of you have seen this movie? Please. Oh, thank God. Okay, yeah. We're good. You don't have to worry about that, Mr. Pankey. We're good. All right, hands down. When they come together for the first time in this movie, if you think about the movie just before that, were they doing really well fighting off all of those aliens separately? Not really. They were kind of getting their, can I say that? They were kind of getting their rear ends kicked separately because they didn't pick a goal. They didn't decide which way they were going to go. They were all just trying to do their thing. They were functioning as units, not as a unit. Now, just like the Avengers, well, maybe not just like the Avengers, but very similarly in concept to the Avengers, we were all created as units to function on our own. but also to be part of a larger whole. Those of you who were in my 7th grade Bible class last year, what do we make up that belongs to Christ? What is it? One giant... Anybody brave enough back there? Yes. Body. Thank you, Sam. We are all the same body. Now think about your body. Everybody just hold up your hand right now. Maybe you want to be like Iron Man a little bit. Everybody hold up your hand right now. Do me a favor and just wiggle your fingers. Wiggle them. Now, when you grow up, if you want something trippy, just ask yourself, how are these fingers wiggling when it's literally just my brain telling them to do it? And then you'll get into an existential crisis of how does my brain actually control things? Go ahead and put your hands down. I work with a different school on productions and musicals and stuff that they do. And there's a line where an older sister is going to punch her younger sister, which I do not recommend. She's threatening to do so because he will not change the TV channel. And she says, change the channel. And he says, yeah, you and what army? Who's going to make me? And she holds up her hand and goes, these 5 fingers. Individually, they're nothing. But if you curl them into a fist, they become a force that is fearsome and terrible to behold. Could you have this fist without these fingers? Not really. And you would probably do some significant damage. Now, is this me? Please do not go home to your parents and say, Miss Grace taught us how to form a punch today. No, I did not. This is not correct form. Do not punch anybody and don't punch anybody like this. But there's a metaphor here. All of these fingers are important. You write with these ones. You use chopsticks with these ones, forks, all those things. You pinky promise with this one. You don't really do a lot with this one. You do on this hand when you grow up and get married. You're not supposed to do anything with this one, and you point with this one. There's a lot. And you give a thumbs up. They all have individual purposes. But together, when they cooperate, they pick things up. Have you ever been holding something and it just yeets out of your hand because your fingers forgot how to hold things? It's annoying. It happens to me all the time. And I'm like, bro, I've been holding a phone for 20 years. What's wrong? Sometimes your fingers are just like, nah, not today. Can you imagine if you were holding, I don't know, your Chromebook? And your fingers decided, it's not that important. Excuse me, yes it is. So you want to achieve unity. Now, is unity going to happen overnight? Hey, look, that's another thing that your fingers do. I can't do it very well. Wow, I'm so jealous of you people. We're going to snap all at the same time, and then we're not going to snap again. 1, 2, 3, snap. Okay, now we're done. Now, we worked as a whole there. We worked as a unit. It was a little bit better. But what me and your other Bible teachers, I said we weren't going to snap again. Don't make me come find you. I will. What me and a lot of the other teachers, the administration, and even your parents would disagree with this. We want you guys to experience unity. When the Avengers finally got their lives together and decided, you know what, we're going to do this as a team, they protected each other. They had each other's back. I mean, Tony Stark literally was falling from the sky, gonna crash, die, and the Hulk got him. Why? Because they were united. And the biggest one, for you right now, I remember when I was in middle school, I would not go back. But I'm glad that I went through middle school. Because it taught me that I was looking for something. And that's one of the biggest parts of being in a unit. I was looking for belonging. I was looking to be part of something. I was looking to have people say, where were you yesterday? We missed you. I was looking for not having to worry about finding a place to sit at lunch, but knowing that I have a seat saved already with my friends. I was looking for not having to worry about who am I going to sit next to on the bus. I've already got a buddy. And I was looking for that sense of being a part of something, of belonging. Now we know, as adults and teachers, we know that you guys are all here, first of all, on this planet for a reason. And that's a bigger one. You're going to spend the rest of your life thinking about that. But you're also here at this school for a reason. And if you say, yeah, my parents are forcing me. Well, that's a reason. And as far as I'm concerned, yeah, my parents forced me too, and I think I turned out okay. That's a reason. And when we're in places for a reason, there are two things we can do. We can either have a bad attitude because we don't want to be here, and I'm going to be miserable and make life miserable for everyone else. Now, everybody in this room has both experienced that person and maybe even been that person. And in all of those situations, it's not something you want to do again. 0 out of 10 would recommend. We do not want to do that. The second route, which is much more difficult, I'll give you that. It is a little more challenging. The second route is, maybe I am here on purpose. Maybe I have something to do. And maybe I can help the people around me. And in turn, they can help me. Has anyone in here ever needed help? I need help daily. I'm constantly bugging my administrators, even some of my students. Hey, can you go do this for me? I don't want to. Can you lift that? I can't. Everybody needs help, and that's okay. When you're on a team like this, help is just what you do. Remember that scene where Black Widow needed to jump up to the alien ship and she just kind of jumped off of Captain America's shield? They didn't even talk about that ahead of time. He was just like, I recognize that she needs to go up there, so I'm going to help her do so. He helped her. They helped each other. Now I want you guys to imagine, what would this school be like? Just go with me here, a little thought experiment. What would this school be like if instead of insulting, bullying, attacking, laughing at people who might be a little different or might not have figured out where they are yet? What if instead of doing those things, what if our first response, how can I help them? Because I've been in that situation before. Yeah, that's what I thought. So here's my challenge for this week. I love challenges. You're going to have another speaker on Unity next week. He's going to come and talk about more specifics. But I would love for you guys to start getting into that mindset. Instead of thinking, oh my God, that person looks so dumb, go, I remember what it was like to come to a brand new school and didn't know how to dress. I'm going to go talk to them and be their friend. And plot twist, at the end of the day, how you dress does not determine what kind of person you are. Just saying. But this week, I would love for you guys to, when you're with your friends, maybe you see somebody who's by themselves. It's really easy. Just go talk to them. Remember that time that you were by yourself and you wished that somebody would come talk to you. Congratulations, now you get to be that person. Think about how you can unify, how you can come together and be a team. Bow your heads, close your eyes. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this day. Thank you so much for every single student and teacher in this room. Thank you that we are all here for a purpose and that you love us so much that all you want from us is just to get to know you a little bit better. And I pray they have a fantastic rest of their week and a great weekend. And we'll start over again on Monday. In your name we pray. Amen. You guys may go.